Hello everyone. In this build guide, we will look at a Hammer Mechanist DPS build that can do on average 34K DPS while only using 4 buttons or less. For the armor, weapons and trinkets, we are going to use full Berserker. Runes will be Runes of the Scholar, Sigils will be Sigil of Force and Air, and for the relic we will have Relic of the Thief. For the utility consumable we will have Writ of Learned Strength, or if that was expensive you can get this one instead. And for the food we will use Plate of Spicy Moa Wings. For the traits we have Explosive 3, 1, 3, and then Firearms 3, 3, 2, and Mechanist 1, 3, 3. For the utility skills we have Healing and Elite Signet, and then we have Shift Signet and Force Signet, and then we have Throw Mine. From the explosive line, we have Glass Cannon, which will increase our damage by 10%, and then we have Shaped Charge, which will increase our damage for the vulnerability we will have on the enemy. Big Boomer will give us a buff that will increase our damage by 15%, and it will also heal us. And in Firearms, High Caliber will increase our critical chance by 15%, and from this trait you will have another 15% critical chance if the enemies are bleeding. And then No Scope is going to increase your critical chance by another 25% because of the Fury, and it will also increase your Ferocity by 150. Modified Ammunition will increase your damage by 2% for each condition on the enemy. For the Mechanist trait line, I tested all of those traits to see which ones will give us more damage overall, and what you see in front of you was the ideal setup for the rest of the build. The way we will use the build is: first, you want to go to your mech skills and make them work on auto attack. You will do that by control right click until you see an arrow around the skill. This means the mech will use it whenever they are available, and so you don't have to worry about any of those F skills. And from that point forward, your rotation becomes Elite Skill whenever it's available, and then Throw Mine, and then Hammer 5, and Hammer 2. Please note that this build with the setups for the traits, skills, and gear will be very good for group content, like when you are doing strike missions, raids, fractals, that kind of stuff. But if you are going to use it in open world, it may not work as well as my other Mechanist Hammer build that I posted earlier. If you want a Hammer build for open world, I will post the link for it in the description below. Another thing to keep in mind is fractals. Sometimes, depending on the fractals you will do and your party competition, you may struggle to stay alive with the current setup. If that is the case, you can take this food, which will reduce the damage by 10%, and then you can take out explosives and you will put alchemy instead. And here we are going for 3, and then 2, and 3. You can also remove the Force Signet and you can put a Barrier Signet instead. If you got any value out of this guide, it will be appreciated if you can support the channel by subscribing and giving the video a like. I will now show you some footage for this build with the rotation, and I will also show you some footage for it in action. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next guide.